In Ohio now, lawmakers there have passed a bill that will allow teachers and school staff to arm themselves with weapons inside schools with pretty minimal training. The bill aims to lower the amount of training required for teachers to carry guns inside schools from 150 hours of training to less than 30 hours of training. It also creates a training team to partner with schools to improve school safety. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is expected to sign this legislation as soon as today. And for more on this interesting approach, let's bring in Ohio Democratic State Senator Teresa Fedor. Thanks for joining us, Senator. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So you oppose this bill. This is not something that you supported. And I want to read a passage from the letter you wrote to Governor DeWine saying this bill was poorly written, urging him to veto it. In that same letter, you remind him that when he was Attorney General in 2014, he signed off on a recommendation to require a minimum of 152 hours of training for teachers and staff to carry a firearm, writing, quote, "By placing this arbitrary limit on instruction today, the state cannot guarantee that the individuals allowed to be armed in our schools will be properly trained." So he changed his mind, it seems, but why is this bill wrong for your state?
Well, first of all, over 350 people testified in opposition, especially law enforcement. And they said it will cause harmful accidents and potentially even needless deaths. It's going to make it harder for them to respond to a mass shooting when they don't know who's carrying a gun or the chaos that's ensued at the time. I'm a veteran classroom teacher of 18 years, been a legislator 22 years. I have never seen a bill so poorly written, hurdled through the process, and there are so many flaws in the bill. There's no minimum education standard, no psychological evaluation, no safe storage. And we passed a bill yesterday for online gambling, which took a long, long time, many versions and a lot of input. And for them to gamble with the lives of our children and teachers in an education system, I am calling them cowards for not doing this correctly, not listening to the people, not listening to law enforcement, and they will have blood on their hands. It's only required to have 2 hours of handgun training for a teacher.
Yeah.
So it is outrageous, and people are very angry about this. And Governor DeWine in 2014, I'm going to quote him with an interview, it's not just about, can I shoot a gun? That's just a small part of it. It's, do I have enough training to be able to react so that my training goes into effect and I don't end up shooting someone who's innocent? So he's a hypocrite.
Yeah, and that has always been the position of the NRA and others, that well-trained, responsible gun owners are going to be safe. And here you describe a rush to get guns into the school in the hands of teachers and staff with very minimal training. And I wonder about that rush. Is that a response to the calls for reform of gun laws? We hear a lot from gun rights advocates groups like the NRA and others, and from Republicans in Congress and elsewhere. We have to fortify the schools. We got to arm them up. We got more good guys with guns. Is this because they don't want to have the conversation about reforming gun possession laws?
Exactly. We have legislation that does something. The red flag law, the background check, bump stocks. Those are all choices before the legislators to do something that would reform the gun violence. And today, we're burying 10-year-olds. And today is the official End Gun Violence Day, where you wear orange, and I encourage everyone to wear orange. They're beholden to the NRA and the contributions. And when you look at the contributions that Republicans, especially Mike DeWine, has received, they are abiding. It's like they have an idol, NRA and the guns, in falling on the Second Amendment. And I do support the Second Amendment. It says a well-regulated militia. Well, regulated means rules to keep people safe. We also have a First Amendment, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so we must stand up, absolutely stand up against this hypocrisy. This is a very dangerous, extreme, radical, and reckless bill, which was stated by the over 300 opponents that came to Ohio. And if we would have had one more day, which we're supposed to have 3 hearings on a bill, this only took 2, and the amendment was put in right before we voted, we would have had probably 600 if there would have been the usual time that we take to put something together. And this was just rushed and hurtled through to look like they did something. And Mike DeWine is running for re-election, and that's what this is all about. They are hiding.
It's
and they're
interesting to
making
me,
their
Senator.
children hide behind desks and go through gun scenarios in the school districts. It's unconscionable, the low standards that they are accepting for citizens in America to abide by, because they won't do the right thing.
And that is, it's a fascinating story. We really appreciate, Senator Fedor, your input, and you're somebody who, as a veteran, somebody who does support Second Amendment rights. You're not coming, from any extreme. And it does seem like there is a middle in this discussion, in this debate, that doesn't get really enacted into laws. And we appreciate your perspective. Thanks very much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.